Hello and welcome to the program. He has received felicitations and met with world leaders and monarchs. He has engaged in conversations with top international entrepreneurs, football and movie stars. Yet his dividends is astounding. From his humble background in Northwest region of Cameroon, Joannes Yimbesalu has risen to the major league of youth leaders. Nevertheless, he believes in giving back because, according to him, everyone deserves equal chances and a good life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, Joannes Yimbesalu. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Elmer, and it's a privilege to be in your program once more. So thank you for having me on your program.
You're welcome. You're one of the few young people who amazes me with their academic and professional achievements, numerous certificates and awards, presently studying international development at the University of British Columbia, Canada, yet you're just 28.
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
Now, growing up, did you see yourself at this level? Tell me a little bit about your childhood.
It's been a difficult journey, and growing up was kind of challenging because my mother wanted to become a nurse because she wanted to take care of her sick mother, but she couldn't because at the time the uncle didn't think it was important for her to go to school. So she lost her dad at 3, and growing up she always wanted to become somebody. She wanted to become educated, but she didn't get that education. And she got married early, and after her marriage her husband died, and that was when a lot of things even worse happened to her, and she had to start all over again. She had issues with family, with her in-laws, and as we grew up, she always told us that education is always the backbone of every human being, and if you want to become successful, we must work hard. And we grew up with that notion that we have to go to school, we have to do our best in school. It's been wonderful. Education has opened me a lot of doors, and which a lot of my peers would never have, and it's because of the power of discipline and hard work.
Talking about achievements, you're one of the few people on planet Earth who has touched the hand of the Queen of England. But before we go there, let's have this incredible journey down memory lane to retrace your steps, how you got there.
So I went to the University of Boya. I had my bachelor's degree in clinical laboratory medicine, and I wanted to become engaged in communities, and I wanted to do something in the field of health, healthcare. And so after my studies in Boya, I did some volunteer work with the Malaria Research Institute at the University of Boya, and I had the opportunity to work with the Mutengene Health District. And during that period, I came across women and children, pregnant women, all suffering, some children dying before their 5th birthday, and most of these women were illiterate. They couldn't read or write or even spell their names, and I could tell that they were lacking something. And I wanted to remain within my community, but when I got a scholarship to come to the US in 2009, I did my master's in the University, New Mexico Highlands University, and I graduated in 2011. And the two key things while I was in university, I knew where I came from. I knew my humble beginnings, and I didn't want to fail my parents. So while at the university, I was really engaged in university, clubs. I was doing a lot of community service, and I was the very first international student to become the graduate student president. With that, I saw the challenges international students face here in the US, and I've had to go through that route, and I will tell you it's very difficult. But I was persistent, and I knew what I wanted. And in 2013, I received the Student of the Year award from the University of New Mexico Highlands University, and that was actually where my journey of leadership, my journey of making a world better really started. Because of that recognition, I believed in myself, and I wanted to do more for the community.
Yeah. Now, in 2011, you co-founded with your twin brother a non-governmental organization, Hope for Children Cameroon,
Correct.
Hope FCC.
Correct.
Right? Now, tell me more about this groundbreaking project.
So, in 2008, while I was in the University of Boya, my twin and I were so passionate about kids. We watched the TV, we saw kids suffering all over the world, and that organization that really pulled us towards was UNICEF. We wanted to do more for our community, and so in 2008, we had my twin and I collected our savings. It was about 40,000 francs.
Okay.
And we bought textbooks, pens, pencils, and we took them to some two schools in the village where I came from in Com. And that was actually our first project. It was very small, but we wanted to do something. But when we came to the US and with all the challenges we were facing as students, we kind of chilled a little bit. But in 2011, we really started big time. So we started the foundation to kind of, as a legacy for my mom. We wanted to make her feel proud. We wanted to make her know that, her advice, her challenges that she went through, we wouldn't want another woman or another child to go through that. And so since then, we've really impacted a lot of lives in communities. And we've built 5 toilets in 3 different areas in Camp, all in primary schools, because we realized that a lot of kids would stay home, especially girls, because of their feminine hygiene. They wouldn't want to come to school because the schools lack toilets. And we also realized that a lot of girls were not going to school just because of the cultural barriers. They thought girls would stay home, cook food, go to the farm, but we wanted to stop that. So we contacted some community leaders, some school authorities, and we told them that we wanted to start to send more children to school. So since 2011, we've sent over 300 children to school. We've provided us school materials, book, pens, uniform, shoes, benches to about 500 children. And now we are working on a program called Empowering Women and Girls, and we are using men. We wanted to empower men and boys to be advocates for women and girls. So I spoke to the men and the women, and they made a commitment in front of their daughters and their wives. Not to beat their wives, always to send their daughters to school. And since then, we now see men bringing daughters to school.
But Cameroon has made incredible, steps when it comes to primary education. In Cameroon, primary education is free. So where do you step in?
Cameroon in 2000, since the Millennium Goals, made primary education free. But the truth is, it's actually not free, because there is what you call a PTA, Parents Teacher Association fee, which children have to pay. And the fees range from schools. So the schools that we work with, we pay 2,500, sometimes 3,000 francs for each child. And most of these parents can't even afford it. And most of these children are living with guardians. These guardians have their own kids.
Exactly.
So it's very challenging. So a lot of these parents cannot afford this fee. So that's where we step in to kind of subsidize, and we provide, funding, we provide all the opportunities and the services. So we decided to provide support, and we make sure that we reach the poorest of the poor kids. We have a criteria that we use to select some of these kids, and we make sure that we go to churches, community markets, and that's how we select these kids that really are in need. Some of them have lost their parents to HIV/AIDS. Some of them have parents who have just abandoned them, and we're providing them support.
In 2014, you made a trip to Cameroon to oversee your projects, and in your own words, you say this visit was nothing short of emotions.
Correct. The communities were so impressed. It was amazing. It was one of my life-changing experiences, because we have never visited some of these. We've never met these kids before, because we're all in the US, and we've never met some of the communities and the parents. So it was an amazing experience. So as we're getting to the schools, they're singing songs. They brought us fufu corn. They brought us. I could just imagine communities that don't even have anything to eat, and you see mothers bringing us corn and beans to take home, because they were so full of emotions. They were so impressed with the work we've been doing. And one major incident that really happened was this child called Betila. She's 17 years old. She has a disability. She doesn't walk. She's always in one spot, and still her grandparents wanted her to go to the farm, so she would still go to the farm even though with that disability. It took her almost 45 minutes just to walk to school. So she had a walking aid which was completely bad. And just imagine when it's in the rainy season, that's even difficult. But when she heard that we were around, she came to the school, and one of our team members spotted one girl crying. She was crying in one end, and we approached her and asked what her problem was. Then one lady told us that she lost both parents. She said she's an orphan and she's living with a grandmother. And when we approached her, we got to know her story. And I told the teacher, the head teacher, you know what? Please the next day enroll this girl in school. We would provide her uniforms, books, and everything. And when I spoke with her on the phone, she was so happy. And when she came 20th in class out of 35.
Wow.
So she's now been promoted to class 3 at 18. So I hope I'm wishing her the best, and we hope to help more kids like that.
So where do you get your money from?
Most of the funding in our program has been through personal pocket, has also been through fundraisers, and has also been through friends. And it's so amazing to see that the Cameroon population public is really impressed with the work we do. People contact us on Facebook that they want to donate. Last December, we had peers from Cameroon, who are based in the US, donating us writing materials, and we carried them along to Cameroon. So and I've realized that a lot of Cameroonians want to do good, but they don't know how to do it. And through our organization, a lot of people are reaching out to us, and we're trying to get involved with them so that they could be part of our group.
Generally speaking, I think you're one of the few people who does understand the problems of Cameroonian youth.
Correct.
And I believe that looking at what you've gone through, what you've been able to do, you might want to talk about some of these pressing issues that they are going through and the solutions that you want to propose to hierarchy, to government, to policymakers.
I've realized that education is good, it's very critical, but I've also realized that a lot of young people are relying a lot on the government. Also, I've realized that the government is also failing its citizens. It's a two-way thing. And I'm a firm believer that, if the government can't give you what you want, go get it. Do something. A lot of young people are scared to try. They don't want to be failures. They don't want to associate themselves with failure. So that gives them that negative attitude towards starting something or achieving something. And the problem in Cameroon is terrible. I know of my classmates who have even master's degrees, and they are working in poor communities, and they're paying, their salary is about 50,000 francs. It's terrible. And I believe that the government has a role to play in providing support. But insofar as the government has a role to play, we as young people should stand up, should be the voice, should speak up. Because I believe that the world is changing. And recently young people have been standing up for causes that they think is appealing to them. And sometimes the government is giving an ear. But I believe that we need to do more of that advocacy. And I also believe that there is a lot of lack of disconnect when it comes to vocational training or skill learning sets. Because I believe that there are a lot of things that we as young people can invest in. Farming, doing a lot of vocational work. And those are things that you really don't need to go to school to learn them. You can start them, and I think that what the government can do is provide support such as funding or finances, like microcredit loans to young people to start up businesses.
The international community, recognizes the importance of non-governmental organizations in handling certain issues more than local governments. What's your take on that?
We rely a lot on international assistance. And that is what is dragging us Africans, or Africa as a continent, behind. Africa has to take ownership of its responsibilities. Insofar as the international community has helped a lot of projects. More kids are having vaccines because of UNICEF. There's more funding in maternal and child health care. Fewer children are dying. But I also believe that, our governments are not doing a lot. Corruption is a huge thing. It's one of the things. It's like a cancer in our society. It's eating us up, and I feel bad when government officials think more of themselves than of their citizens. And insofar as I believe in international assistance or development aid, I also think that governments have a critical role to empower their own people. Foreign aid or development agencies, they work with local organizations. Now, before they were working with governments. They are still working with government, but now they are not changing that route to work directly with the people that are involved. Because the money kind of disappears in some space.
In the network.
Correct. So, and it's been successful so far. And I think that there needs to be that partnership, that collaboration more with international bodies and local NGOs. But I also believe that, we the citizens, we have a voice. we need civil society. Civil society has to step up.
Yeah.
That is what is lacking in Cameroon. And because, a lot of people are scared. They don't want to speak up to things that matter most. But I believe that as a global citizen, you can change the world with your voice.
Yeah.
You may not go out on the street or strike or whatever, but you can do more with your voice. Approach the government. It's sad that I tend to see ministers of my country only at the UN. I would never, if I go to Cameroon and I want to have a meeting with them, it's difficult. But I feel like, we need more of that. We need that dialogue more in our countries. We need to communicate with them. We need them to open their doors to us, to seek our advice. And a lot of, the government officials are doing great. But I also believe that you should give a chance to young people, because young people have better minds.
You have gained international recognition, the most recent being the Young Leaders Award from the Queen of England. Now tell me a little bit more about this reward, and how did you manage to project your work to international level, to international recognition?
In 2013, we got an award of $1,000 from an organization called Selfless for Africa. They're based in Atlanta, Georgia. They gave us $1,000 to help build toilets. And when we presented them those images, and when we handed the toilets to the school authorities and to the mayor, when last May we made a presentation to them. They were so amazed with what that money went into. And because of that, that was actually one of the projects that leveraged the work we did with our back to school event. So in 2014, I was recognized by Gordon Brown, who is the UN Envoy on Global Education, with the Youth Courage Award. That also kind of helped me to get the next award from the Queen. So I was nominated by somebody who knows much about the work we do. And last year, I got an email from the UK saying you've been shortlisted for this award. But a step back, the Queen Young Leaders program, it's a program that the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, started as a legacy to her monarchy. So she's going to be the longest reigning queen. She's going to be 60 years old as Queen of England in September, and she wanted to start a program that honors who she was and her ideals in the Commonwealth. So she started the Queen Young Leaders program, recognizing young people between 18 and 29, doing amazing things, empowering the communities. And it was an amazing experience that I got to be selected. And since then, I've got a lot of respect for my friends. But the Queen Young Leaders program has been amazing. We now have mentors that are mentoring us, supporting us in our programs.
Yeah.
We are taking a course at Cambridge University in the
Wow.
UK. And I got the opportunity to meet the Queen and David Beckham.
A step at a time, because I'm so excited about this whole ceremony that took place at Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
But we want to talk about this.
Good. So
It's your right to open. I
yeah.
can open it.
So June 20th, I boarded the flight from Pearson Airport in Toronto, Canada, and we headed to the UK, Heathrow. And it was an amazing experience. When I landed at the airport, and I showed my passport, and the immigration officer asked, "Well, what am I doing in the UK?" I said, "I'm here to meet the Queen." And she was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I'm here to meet the Queen. I'm meeting with the Prime Minister
I
as
like
well."
that.
So she was like, I've been in the UK for donkey years, for 30, 40 years, and I've never had the opportunity to meet any of the monarch, any person in Buckingham Palace. But so it was an amazing experience. We landed on the June 21st. June 22nd was the D-Day. When we arrived at Buckingham Palace, a lot of us were nervous because we've never had such an audience. We've always watched the Queen from on TV. We've never really thought of seeing who she is and how she feels.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends were asking, how does she smell? How is her hand?
Exactly.
Is her hand so soft? Or does she eat food, or she drink just water? I'm like, this is a human being. So before we met her, they told us what we have to do. So you had to walk by, they were going to call your name, then you had to take a bow, and then, greet her. And we were told to call her Her Majesty. And if she engages in a conversation with you, you cannot call her ma'am.
Okay.
So it was amazing because Cameroon was the first country to be called. So every eyes were on us. And so we walked by and they called my name, Joannes Yimbesalu. I had to walk by. And I took a bow and she was all smiling. So she asked, she told me that it's an honor for me to give you this award. I'm recognizing you for the work you're doing. Keep doing the work you're doing. And that was it. So I took it, then I made a bow and I left. And that was it.
You touched her?
Yeah, I touched her hand.
How did
her hand
feel?
is soft.
I know! I knew it!
She always have gloves on her hand because I guess, you know, she doesn't wear any, but you know, she was amazing.
Just to remind our audience that we have a footage of what went on at the Buckingham Palace.
Correct.
Let's watch. You said there is something that usually works for you when you're in every international gathering.
Correct.
The grass-filled traditional regalia.
Correct.
Your outfit.
Correct.
Actually, I'm seeing one here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this Cameroon is
you have a way to go back this regalia. A lot of people don't know about it. They're getting to know about it today.
Correct.
Thanks to people like you. This is the grass-filled traditional regalia.
Correct.
Found in the west and northwest regions of Cameroon.
Correct.
So it works for you all the time. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. And I have a lot of traditional clothes.
Yeah.
Because my mother is a firm believer of culture.
Yeah.
And I try to make sure that when I'm in a public setting, I put on something that is peculiar to Cameroon. It's very powerful when you let people know who you are from what you're wearing.
Yeah.
So David Beckham was amazed with my clothes, and he even said, "Your clothes, you look good in your outfit." And when I posted that picture on Facebook, it went viral. I had about 900 likes and about 200 comments. Everybody was sharing it because, you know, I was in my traditional outfit.
Yeah.
And, you know, I believe that that's who I am. That's my identity. And, you know, that's where I come from. So I have to be proud of who I am.
How has all this whole experience impacted your life? Because it would seem like whatever you touch turns to gold.
You know, it's hard work. Hard work. My schedule is so crazy that I go to bed at 2 a.m. in the morning. And, you know, people tell me I work a lot. You know, I don't want to be failure. I try to, you know, I want to triumph, and if it fails, it fails. And you know, it's been very challenging because sometimes, you know, you don't know how things are going to turn out. You don't even know where to start. But I believe that when you speak or when you share your story with people, people tend to appreciate who you are. They tend to be involved as well. And you know, it's also been a challenge in that I feel pressured a lot. I feel like there's a lot of attention towards me, and I don't want to be a failure as well.
We are coming to the end of part 1 of this interview, and now we're opening the second page, which I term TikTok. Now, Joannes Paulus Yimbesalu, your strength.
Humility.
Your weaknesses.
I do a lot all by myself.
Education a must, true or false?
True.
3 qualities of a good leader.
A good listener, part of the team, and you must be transparent.
Your secret to success.
Be happy, be smile.
One thing that nobody knows about you, even your parents and best friends, even your twin brother.
I speak to myself sometimes, kind of self-meditation, and I wear shoes without socks.
Okay. Who are your heroes?
Mother Teresa of Calcutta, she's one of my heroes. She's my hero.
Most useful advice that you've received?
I met Bill Clinton in 2013, and he told me that work hard, and when you work hard, it's your duty to give back to your community, and we must give back to our communities because we couldn't have been where we are today if not of someone's help. So we must give back. What
do you miss most back home?
I miss fufu.
Now, who are some of your back home friends?
So I want to say hi to Diana Day. She is in Germany. I want to say hi to Miranda Kijam. She's part of our team. I want to say hi to Rahul Fassi, Nanen Doping, and Minella Pacha. And I want to say hi to my twin brother.
And can you speak the dialect?
At this level, so thank you.
All right, now music on your mind.
Thank you, Mr. DJ, for playing my song. Thank you, been waiting so long.
Yeah! It was nice having you on the program.
Thank you so much, Alma. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and you're my hero. You're my hero.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's on that musical note, ladies and gentlemen, that we come to the end of today's edition of the program. Hope to see you next time.